All right, in this video, I'm going to be making and reviewing something from the Princess Cookbook, and it is Aurora inspired from Sleeping Beauty, and it's called Dreamy Carrot Cookies, and it's a dessert. I'll show you the picture of it right here. And these are carrot cookies. So, you've got some flour and some of your cookie ingredients, your basic cookie ingredients, but then you also have some shredded carrots, some shredded apples, some walnuts, and some dried cranberries. So it kind of mixes together in a little bit of what makes a cookie. So I actually made this the other day. I'm going to show you some clips of me putting it together next. Step one, I'm putting my dry ingredients together. First, I'm adding my flour. Now I'm adding some of my seasonings such as cinnamon, salt, and a little nutmeg, and a few other things. And I'm stirring it all together. Now I'm going to mix some of my wet ingredients together. First, I've got some melted butter with some brown sugar. And I'm going to mix this together until it's blended. Now I'm whisking together an egg, and then I'll add that to the mix and blend it together. Now I'm adding the dry ingredients in with the wet ingredients, and I will give them a good stir till they're nice and blended. Now it's time to add some of the other stuff. I've got some oats, some carrots, some apples, walnuts, and then finally the dried craisins. Now here I'm just kind of putting them together on a pan using a combination of my hands and a spoon. Here they are ready to go into the oven. Here they are cooked and out of the oven. I'll let them cool for a little bit before we can try them. All right, so there you have it. I actually really enjoy these cookies, and I actually think they're more like, to me, they seem more like a scone than a cookie, maybe something in between, but I guess cookie, scone, you could do it either way. But I really did like them. I appreciated too that they didn't have any refined sugar in them, that they had just some brown sugar. So to me, I think that the health factor was not the best, but definitely better than a lot of cookies that are out there that have a lot of refined sugar and stuff in them, and I appreciate it. The dried cranberries and the carrots and the apples all worked together really, really well in the cookie, gave it a nice flavor. I'm honestly not a big fan of chopped walnuts. I mean, I can eat them, but I don't always like them in my baked goods. But these were really nice. Like, they were subtle. I already got the ones that were pre-chopped to save some time. And they were mixed in there to add a little bit of texture to it. I didn't really notice it. I think that the fruit did a really good job of covering those flavors up. So yeah, overall, I thought these were really good cookies. My husband liked them, and I thought they were a really great option. So that being said, let's get into the rankings and the reviews. The first is the ingredients on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being simple, easy to find, inexpensive ingredients, and 5 being harder to find or expensive ingredients. I guess I'm going to give it a 2. Nothing on this list is really hard to find. I mean, I'm just looking at it. I'm like, no, not hard. But there is a little bit of money involved because like there's dried cranberries and there's walnuts and there's carrots and stuff. So that stuff kind of adds up a little bit. A lot of that's not expensive, but nuts and dried cranberries can be, and especially if you're just comparing it to like, can I make a chocolate chip cookie? You're probably going to spend a little bit more money than you would for a chocolate chip cookie. Difficulty level on a scale of 1 to 5. I mean, I guess I'll give it a 2 as well. You could almost give it a 1, but I'll give it a 2 because, you do have to like shred the carrots and shred the apple and, so there's a couple little bit more steps involved with it. So to me, that's probably why it's a 2. It's, but it's not difficult at all. And then would I make this again on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being never and 5 being absolutely, I'll make it all the time. This is a solid 4 for me, meaning that I really like it. I definitely will probably make these again someday because I did like them enough, but I don't know if there'll be something like I'll make often, you know what I mean? I think it's just one of those things that every so often I'll be like, oh, that sounds kind of good, let's make it, because I really did like it, but it's not something that I love so much that I'm like, yeah, I'm going to try and make a point to go out of my way and make it more often or rotate it into my schedule. But either way, decent recipe, worth checking out.